Hello. Today we are going to be doing a sketchbook tour. I am showing you my 9th completed sketchbook. I finished this one, I believe, in 2023, 2024, and it's a Hanamula sketchbook. I'm not sure the specific style, but the paper is thick enough to do watercolor in it and paints and mixed media. I really enjoyed this sketchbook and I hope to be using another one again soon. So for this sketchbook tour, I really did focus on mixed media. So the first two are gouache paintings. Well, the first mushroom is gouache painting, and this one here is also a gouache painting. This one is also gouache. I did 2 cats. I really tried to have fun and do different types of subject matters for this sketchbook. And I really had fun with it. This sketchbook spread is a mix of, I believe, watercolor and gouache. I really just tried to have fun and do a really flowy image. I was trying to practice on how I paint landscapes. That is something I'm still struggling with today to try to figure out how I want to do these. This is probably one of my favorite spreads. Just drawing a raccoon and a cat. Most of these paintings in this book are based off of illustrations I found on Pinterest. Again, I did gouache for this one and I really enjoyed it. And this spread is 2 portraits. I'm always trying to practice portraits and get better at them. This one I just used graphite and then I filled in the backgrounds with gouache just to add a little bit of something else to them. And then I went on this whole big thing of drawing noses. I decided to draw 100 noses. I just used pencil and I just found a bunch of different noses from everywhere just to draw different shapes, angles, different directions, and really practice my shading. And I tend to add freckles just because I think it adds a little bit more interest. And I tried to add piercings. I just tried to do like a wide variety of noses and draw them. And I had a lot of fun with this, and I think I might do another 100 project, like 100 of something, but I'm not really sure what yet. And I have other things I want to finish up first. I don't know. I really like this section of my sketchbook. After I did like just random noses, I ended up going and finding like celebrity noses. So in this section, I really focused on adding in nose piercings. I was getting bored with just plain noses, so I was trying to like add in something to them just to make them more unique. But this is the spread here where I started doing like celebrity noses or like famous noses and really getting those down. So I feel really comfortable drawing noses now. So I'm going to have to start working on other features of the face. Maybe do the 100 heads challenge. That one just seems so overwhelming. The great thing about this nose project is that it was small and relatively simple, and most of the work is being done by the shading. So it was fun. And then we went back to, then I went back to landscapes, and I did these 2 landscapes using gouache. And I actually really like how these turned out as well. I used a limited color palette for both of them. And I think that's kind of where I do really well personally, is like creating a limited color palette and sticking to that. So I kind of want to try practicing that more as well. Maybe that could be like my next challenge, like 100 different palettes where I create a painting from that palette. I don't know, that might be fun. And this is another landscape I did using watercolor. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. I had fun doing it. I did this one on location, so actually out in the wild, painting the lake that I live near. And then I didn't really know what to do for these 2 pages. I just decided to practice doing a gradient. Sometimes it's good to just do some basics. So I was really working on making a really smooth gradient going through the page. These are 2 more landscapes. I didn't use a limited palette for these 2, and I don't like them as much. And I think that is why, because I didn't use a limited palette, and I really do think that's something I might need to stick with. These 2 were just me having fun. I was trying to do like a gradient with a gouache, and I'm pretty sure I started painting under both of them and I didn't like them, so this is kind of my default, to paint over them into something I might like. I really wanted to play with some gold paint. These are clouds that I just did with watercolor. I was just trying to use a really big brush and see what I could make. This is another one that I actually painted over as well. I didn't like the painting underneath, so I just decided to paint a new painting on top of it. And again, I used a really big brush, and I was just trying to work through how I would do a gradient. And this is a watercolor painting that I did of the Hurricane Barrel when that was going on. I really wanted to capture the strong winds going through the palm trees. And this is another one where I was just trying to practice gradients in a different way. I believe I was trying to make, I don't really know what I was trying to make at the time. I decided to paint some bows. Bows were like really popular at this time, so I was just kind of drawing a bunch of different bows, and I used a fountain pen for this. This is a painting where I used Google Earth and I just randomly found a location and I drew from the image that I was seeing on Google Earth. And for this one, again, I was using a fountain pen. And then back to bows. I actually really like how these turned out. I used acrylic gouache for these, and I was just drawing. I was in a bow drawing phase. I had a lot of fun drawing these, though. I kind of want to do more. These are more bows, obviously, because I could not stop. But I found like a style like this on Pinterest, and I'm not sure who the original artist was, but I was just trying to recreate the style of. And this is again a fountain pen ink. And I want more because I like actually couldn't stop drawing bows. Maybe I should have drawn 100 bows and it would have been like out of my system. But again, fountain pen ink. And then I just decided to draw an alphabet. I don't know why. Sometimes I draw like random letters. So I just wanted to make a fun alphabet. I used to draw these when I was younger, like in my high school era. And then I believe these are 2 tutorials. I know for sure the one on the left is a tutorial from James Gurney, and I followed along on one of his YouTube videos and drew the one on the left. And then the right was also, I believe, a YouTube video tutorial. Oh no, it says found on Pinterest, so that's where that came from. And then I drew 2 dogs. These are using watercolor and probably gouache for the white. I draw dogs a lot sometimes when I don't really know what to draw and I want to draw something. I love drawing animals. And then we end it with another cat, because I love drawing cats and painting cats, and that's something that I definitely want to get better at. I don't love this cat. It looks kind of cartoony, but I don't mind it either. And that is my sketchbook. Thanks for watching. Bye.